Welcome back to my channel. It is Candace with the K here, where I normally talk books, beauty, and kicks. I'm giving you my October recap of all the books that I was able to read in the month of October. I got busy, baby. I was reading, I was listening to my audiobooks. I had a lot going on, but I'm excited to give you just a very high level, brief overview of all the things I read. And of course, they will be linked down below in the description box. So just stay tuned. I also want to share one of my favorite reading accessories that I recently picked up. It is the Glow Scent Reading Light. Okay, you put it around your neck and boop, look, I have a little reading light. I'm able to read here. And so as I'm reading, I can adjust the glow, so to speak, so that you can see it here. So yeah, when I want to sit in the dark, daylight savings time just kicked in. I can sit in the dark with my lights and it be great. Okay. I absolutely love this thing. I have it also linked down below. It is the perfect reading accessory to sit in the dark with. And the greatest thing is that it is rechargeable. So I don't have to fumble with batteries. I don't have to deal with any of that. So be sure to get yours today so that you can be cute and cozy under your weighted blanket this fall. These books are in no particular order. I've kind of just scrambled the bunch and just wrote down the ones that I did read this month. So we're just going to kick it right off with The Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. I've seen this series all over and I never really jumped into it. I was finally given a copy of it and I was like, you know what? We're reading it. Let's see what it's about. I just knew it was about basketball. Anybody who knows me knows I love the game of basketball. I'm going to probably pick up anything basketball related off that simple fact alone. However, let me tell you, this one is very caliente and it had me on the edge of my seat in large part because it is very triggering. If you, not for me personally, but just generally speaking, this is a woman who has experienced extreme domestic violence, and got caught up with this basketball player who was extremely abusive, extremely possessive, but she also kind of fell in love with the love of her life. So the silver lining to that, but she had to get out of this very toxic situation first. And so the book is a whirlwind. I finished it very quickly because it really did have me on the edge of my seat. I ended up giving this book 4 out of 5 stars. My book club book of the month was None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I know Lisa is known in the game for being a like mystery thriller key player, right? None of This Is True left me with more questions than answers. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I do think it was a very good book. I read the tangible book. I hear the audiobook is superb. Kind of follows this podcast, which I hear is done very well in the audiobook. Although you kind of get that in the book, the physical book as well. I think when you kind of just can get more of that visualization, it works really well. All players in this book are crazy. All of them. Because what ultimately ends up happening is we don't know whose story to believe in this story. And it's just a mess from start to finish. So I do recommend it. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I also read Mame, I think that's how you say it, by Jessica George. I first was enthralled by this cover. I think the colors on this cover are gorgeous. And then once you really get into the book and you realize that she's trying to just cultivate and create her own identity aside from what her parents and her family have imposed on her and just trying to find herself, it makes the story even better. I think it was very enlightening of like, sometimes you find yourself through romance, you find yourself through partnership, you find yourself just by experiencing things. And that's really ultimately what life is about, right? I really enjoyed this one. I listened to this one on audiobook, which helped in the sense of it kind of provided more clarity on some of the intonations of some of the words that I would have for sure stumbled upon. And I think it was just a good narrator. I think that's the key to an audiobook, is having a good narrator. And she did a superb job. And so I loved it. I also gave this one 4 stars. Now, I also read Good Girl by Alice Finney. After reading Daisy Darker, I said that anytime Alice Finney drops a book, I'm reading it. I don't care. I'm going to read it. And this one I ended up getting an early copy, and I got an early audio copy at that. I probably would have enjoyed this better if I would have read it, but nonetheless, I still enjoyed it. I think the twist, which is a twist, because you know Alice Finney gonna put a twist in one of her books. The twist came a little too late for me. I think the twist should have came a little early, but she set the tone so well that it didn't really bother me that much. But it needed to come just a few pages or so earlier in the book so that we could have got a little bit more context and a little bit more drama, so to speak. So I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars technically, but you know. I also read Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. I love Talia Hibbert's writing. She is one of my favorite romance writers. I have been trying to finish this book for months, okay? It was something that I always just picked up, put down, picked up, put down. I liked it. I didn't like it as much as everyone else because I think I dragged my feet too much on it. And I think it was one of those books that you read in the moment, you get caught in the hype. I don't think it's a hyped book because I do think it is very good. However, it was just okay to me. Like, I didn't get swept away by it like some people did. I do think for the main characters to be high school age, they were very in tune with their feelings. And I think that was a highlight for me because they were able to kind of not directly verbalize how they felt, but verbalize it in enough of a way to eventually get their point across. So I did appreciate that because I think we do the opposite of adultify. So I guess coddle YA characters. And so I like to see them experience more mature topics. The other book that I read was The Intern by Michelle Campbell. Now, I was also given an early copy of this book on audio, and I just couldn't imagine being an intern and experiencing what this intern ultimately went through. And I think it does speak to, like, everybody is doing something shady, not me, but you know how shady people are. And I think the story itself is great. Execution could be better, ultimately. If they were to adapt this into limited series, oh, I'll eat it up. Oh, I will eat it up. Especially if the screenplay is written very well and it's shot beautifully. Like, it has the potential there. The story is great. But the execution of it kind of just fell flat towards the end for me. It started off strong, but fell flat to me. And so that's why I only gave this one 3 stars. Now, one of the books that I've also been struggling to finish, that I finally finished, thanks to finally getting an audio book of it through my library, using the Libby app, of course, is House of Eve by Sadika Johnson. Now, I don't know what I thought this book was about. Because in those first early chapters, she's talking about going to college. So I thought it was just going to be like a coming of age story, which I guess it kind of is. But I had no idea that it is ultimately about a woman's infertility while another woman, like a dual narrative, which love dual narratives. Sign me up all the time. But one woman's infertility issues while the other one's, you know, trying to get not rid of. Oh, that sounds harsh. But like, at a life crossroads. And I was just like, once I got to that threshold, I was like, oh, okay, this is where we're going. Which I'm starting to think that I need to start reading blurbs of books, because I don't read the blurbs at all. Like, I look at the cover, I look at the author, and I'm like, okay, it's talking to me, so let me just read it, opposed to actually reading what the book is about, because I'm always so shocked. Like, oh, okay. But House of Eve was very good. And I love a book that culminates. Like, don't leave us hanging. Give us an ending. And this one came to a very nice culmination, sweet culmination at the end. And that's why I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. Now, last but not least, you know I had to squeeze in my girl Britney. We have all experienced Britney's rise and somewhat fall, and how much she has been through over the years. And so when they said she was dropping a memoir, and then when I heard that she had Justin Timberlake in a tizzy, I said, oh, I'm reading it. And I read it so quickly, I finished it in a day. Not even a day, I finished it in like 4 hours. So that lets you know it's a very quick read. Don't have extreme high expectations on the writing. The writing is very Britney. Is what you would kind of expect from Britney Spears. I don't think she had a co-author, so it is literally like you're talking to Britney Spears. It literally sounds like you're talking to her. But I have a very detailed post on Candace with a K Reads that details all the things I learned from Britney's book, particularly about your boy JT. JT better keep his eye on a swivel. Actually, that's just joking because I'm gonna go see the Trolls movie. But I think Britney's book was very enlightening in that your family is not always gonna hold you down. When you are the breadwinner, you are looked at as solely the breadwinner, and it truly changes the dynamics of how people are going to treat you, how people look at you, how people care for you, and you just become a money bag at that point. I love that she is finding herself, and I love that the title is The Woman in Me, because it's always been in her, not on her, and she is going to come out on the other side of this. I truly hope and believe. I don't think she's crazy. She did try to repaint some of this stuff with like Kevin Federline, and like, you were definitely the side chick and we all knew it. But she tries to repaint that, which live how you want to live, girl. Cause both of y'all, you and Star, now have children by this man, and doesn't matter. Doesn't really speak to the relationship of her with her children today, which I think and believe might still be strained. And so I don't know if that's also something that she's just trying to rewrite history about. But they're adults now, so they can make that choice if they want to mess with their mama or not. I think it was a good read for me. I enjoyed it. And I try not to rate memoirs, but I would say read it just for perspective. So those are all of the books that I read this month. It was a busy month, like I said. Be sure to get one or all of these books. They are linked down in the description box. Also follow Candace with a K Reads. I post everything book related there. I'm trying to get in the habit of kind of posting more in-depth posts about the books that I finish, so that you can get more of a deeper, feel of how I felt about these books. Also, be sure to pick a book light. It is the perfect holiday gift. Holiday season is quickly approaching. There is a link down below to also get yours. You definitely want to get your favorite book lover a book light. I think it comes in handy. It comes in a variety of colors. I had to get a pink one because it's girly, and yeah, it kind of matches my hat. So it is the perfect holiday gift. Make sure you get you one and hit that subscribe button so I can see you in my next video. Peace.